Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Homer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. And I am honestly very nervous to see what we're going to see here at the temple. But it sounds like the tide of this rebellion and this revolution really is pushing in more on the Kingdom of Khura'in, which again, we think is a good thing. We think the rebellion is 100% a good thing, and then having it here in more of a concrete fashion is a very interesting thing to see. It's happening at the temple, right? May 18th. Temple. I'm so interested to see what this looks like. Well, what is all this? Oh, an animated cutscene for this? That's a rebel fighting the guards. Oh, they're taking him down though. Nahyuta, his like sash floating in the wind.
Well, look at
Oh my god! And that's like doing the thumbs up.
Don't hold back, man! Arrest them!
Oh, you're gonna arrest them all? Look how many there are. There's so, look at that. Oh my god, I'm so happy for them. This is what you need. This is what we want. You can't arrest everybody. That's the whole point. You can't arrest everybody. Dirt belongs to the people. Give it back. I love it. I genuinely love it. I'm so proud of these people. I'm so proud of these people. Where are you holding them? Quite. Dude, you're on the floor. One of you has your hands up. I would not be even talking this way. Yeah, my big sister too. But she didn't do anything wrong, of course. People barely do anything wrong here. And here's the thing, there's gonna be people that do things wrong, but a lot of them are not like in prison. Oh yeah, stop pulling. They're pulling their hair, oh my god. They're pulling their hair. No, I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of all these people. Release my son, release him now. Stop that, no biting. Yes, biting. We can bite him. Here's the thing, this has been years of you chomping on them. This has been years of you pulling their hair. Even if it's figurative, I don't care. This has been years and years of pent-up frustration. They're finally fighting back for themselves, and I'm so freaking happy for them. This is really something. And it looks like that's a Mr. Inmi are leading the charge. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. You unenlightened fools, do you honestly think this will change anything? Yudi, why do you keep serving that witch Garan? Right? It's... Hey, Nahyuta. You again? What's going on here? It would appear that the insurgents are fanning the flames of rebellion. Honestly though, like again, I do not care. This is the best thing that they can do for themselves. After years of seeing people die, suffer, be put in prison, over the sake of a freaking divination seance that has been interpreted wrong many times. But I never thought it would grow so large. That's what happens when you treat your people improperly. Especially when they see their fathers and mothers, brothers, sisters be treated so improperly and horribly. What happens is you basically create more rebels. You do that all the time. I mean, isn't that what like Odysseus' story is about with Epic, isn't it? The idea of like, if you, again, I don't agree with this, like doing this, I 100%, but the idea of like, if you don't get rid of like, you know, if you fight against one army, the youth of that army that are looking at their fathers die, you're basically creating more soldiers. In this case, it's one of those situations where they've watched things happen for years, for 23 years in their country, right? They've seen their fathers die. They've seen their family members be put in prison forever. They've seen all this happen. And what has happened is they've created more rebels every time they've done that. It's their own fault that there's this many people who have gone against them now. It's their own fault. However, they'll all be under arrest shortly. All of them? Reinforcements are already almost here. They'll be arrested just for protesting? That's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. They are aiding and abetting a criminal by seeking his release. That's not what aiding and abetting is though, Nahyuta. Maybe it is in this country, but that's like... Aiding and abetting would be actually trying to get him out of prison. In this case, like they're requesting his release. They haven't even gone into the prison yet. Yes, it would be aiding and abetting technically if they went in and tried to break down the doors. But like right now, it is 100% person's right to request someone be released from prison. Her Eminence King Garan has ordered they be arrested and judged en masse. know you to think what you're saying here. You're going to judge all these people are wrong? Every one of them? All of them? But weren't you once a member of the Defiant Dragons too? How can you go along with this? I am simply following the orders that Her Eminence has handed down. Oh, can't be as simple as that. Listen, Nahyuta, there's something I want to talk to you about. Hey! You're not getting away this time. He tried to walk away again. I think there's something, again, that's emotional pent-up stuff there as well, that he's trying to avoid talking straight to Apollo, right, all the time. We need to talk. I see there is no reasoning with you. Very well then, speak. Let's talk about Dirk. Nahyuta, do you really have to serve as prosecutor in Dirk's case? I mean, prosecuting your own flesh and blood is just not right. I'm still so proud of this crowd around us, guys. I really am. I'm looking at the crowd every 2 seconds and I'm like, I'm so happy for them. Again with this drivel? Your ethical standards are not all the be-all end-all of the world around you. This is sometimes very true, right? 110%. But the fact is, in this case, is that I don't care if there's like a different ethical standard. We know the ethical standards of this kingdom are wrong. I don't care if it's a different ethical standard here. Like, I am on the side of the people that would not put a 9-year-old in prison or kill a 9-year-old. And people go, you can say, well, Calvin, you always go back to that one thing of Albie. It's true, though. That's the side I'm on. I'm on the side that's against ruining the life or killing people like Albie. You're on the side, you're fighting for the side that is for that. That's just the facts. It's just the truth here. Let's not beat around the bush. I know there's something playing on Nahyuta's mind. I don't think Nahyuta's directly being like, I love the death of Albie. You know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's two sides to this. There's either one side that's against this or one side that's for this. And I don't believe Nahyuta's fully on this side. I choose to believe that there's something in him that's not on this side. I'm getting very passionate about this. I'm not getting to another debate with him. Yeah, because we're just going to lose because he's just going to do everything on the line of facts, right? It's the thing that you see all the time. I see it all the time when you see a debate, like as I said on Twitter or something like that, just pop up in your feed. Like, people will basically do this thing where, like, as I've said in the past, where it's like, someone will say, like, I think breakfast cereals suck. And then you go, well, do you like chocolate? It's like, yes. Do you like milk? Yes. Do you like puffy textures? Yes. So you like chocolate corn puffs? And it's like this thing where it's like, yes, you're stating facts, but like there's nuance to it, right? Nahyuta, did you know that Dirk is sick? What? His eyes open right away. He apparently doesn't have that much longer to live. If found guilty, he probably won't even make it until his execution day. Whoa. What are you talking about? His face has changed completely. Knowing this, are you still prepared to send an already dying man to his grave? Well, enough of the Zen monk acting. Whoa. He's not even taking any prisoners this time. Tell me how you really feel. Mr. Justice, each person is born with a role to fulfill. Oh, Nahyuta, no. And I must fulfill mine. I don't agree with this whole thing of everyone has I think everyone has a place in this world just by being born. Everyone, you know what I mean, 100%. But this whole idea of a role to fulfill, no one has to fill the role of prosecutor fighting for a corrupt regime. Nobody does. That's not a role that is legitimately needed in this world. It's a detriment to the world. You know, it's not needed. Well, I'm not convinced that taking Dirk to trial is a part of your lot in life. I agree with this. As to why you've been at Garon's every day beck and call, I think I might have the answer. Amara. Nahyuta, you know the truth about your mother, don't you? About how the former queen is still alive and being held somewhere, yeah. So Dirk told you, did he? It's true, my mother was spirited away to some remote corner of this kingdom. To keep her safe from harm. Is that what you believe? Is that truly what you believe? Safe from harm, but Dirk said the Grand Regime was holding her captive. No, they are keeping her safe. He's so... like, this is just twisting, like, what is actually the truth here, right? So you don't know where Amara is being held? I only know that it's somewhere secluded hideaway where the visitors are not allowed. I heard she leads a simple life akin to that of her monastic disciples, and that's... cool to you? Again, I wonder if they like are holding it over his head in a way where it's like, she's safe, you know, she's safe, she's living a good life, she's much safer now. You know, so maybe you should keep going with this thing now, so like she can make sure she stays safe. Make sure someone like Dirk can't get to her, maybe, or something like that. Sure sounds like she's being held captive to me. That's what it is. It's like this whole idea of like, even if you're someone who is, you know, you can have someone held captive, let them eat all this fancy food. You can have them, you know, there's a pool out the back. But that doesn't mean that like they're not held captive. If you still stop them from leaving, that's being held captive. You know, it doesn't matter how like nice their life is. Listen, Nahyuta, aren't you really doing the queen's bidding? Because she's holding Amara captive? This is the question we have to ask directly. Right? Directly. And this whole thing with Dirk. You know he didn't really kill Igna, don't you? Dirk doesn't have much longer to live. So I want to help him however I can. This time it's our turn. Oh, after they almost drown, yeah. He's saying he wants to return the favor finally and save Dirk. You could have been killed. Would you risk your life to save us? Why? What a silly question. What father wouldn't risk their life to save his own children? Nahyuta, Apollo. Don't you ever hesitate to call when you need me. Understand? That's so beautiful. Yeah, and again, here's the thing. It's one of those things where like, both of these guys are alive today because Dirk risked their lives. And as Dirk said, it's not something you have to pay back, but it is still beautiful that he wants to pay it back. You know, Dirk doesn't expect him to pay this back, but it's beautiful that he is. It's our turn to help Dirk so however we can. How's he going to take this, though? The long pause. What you speak of is futile. He held his hand in the same way when Dirk said he's always going to be part of the Defiant Dragons. He held his hand in the exact same way. Let it go and move on. I think he's trying to convince himself. I think it's one of those situations where it makes his decision making easier if he can convince himself that it is futile, you know? The guilty verdict, the hopelessness. You must resign yourself to it all. Cling to false hope now will only serve to magnify your future despair. So let it go and move on. Nahyuta, are you really going just to roll over on this? To me, this shows the struggle. Like, a physical manifestation of the struggle is him holding his hand. He is definitely struggling with this decision. He's struggling with this idea. There's no doubt in my mind. I've no more time for idle chatter. I must prepare for tomorrow's trial. Now, if you'll excuse me. Apollo? Just let him leave. Apollo, I sense a whirlpool of emotions come from when Prosecutor Samadi just now. I'm not surprised, Athena. I'm not surprised whatsoever. I think that him holding his hand is almost like, you know, like it's as I said, a physical manifestation of him maybe trying to hold something in. It's like holding something tight, right? He still feels so much emotion towards his father, and he knows that moment when they were both saved is important to both of them. And I think it's just one of those things where he's trying to convince himself, hey, this is futile. Why are you even trying to do this? Because sometimes it is easier that way. If you have resigned yourself to one type of thing and one lifestyle, sometimes it's easier to say like, well, you're supposed to do this. Like I had a friend before that used to say like, well, everyone's supposed to go through like suffering in their life. And it's like, no, no. I think we say that to ourselves sometimes to make it easier to get through the suffering. Whilst with Nahyuta, I think he's trying to make it easier for himself by saying it's futile. It's like easier to make these decisions that he's making now because if I say it's futile, that means I can come to terms with the fact that it's not that I'm actually, you know, that it makes it easier to make these decisions, right? I want to say, by the way, like when my friend said everyone goes through some suffering, I think he was like, you know, he went through a very something that was imposed upon him by someone else, and it's like, no, you can definitely prevent it by people being better and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like we say some stuff sometimes to kind of prove to ourselves or make ourselves feel better, right? Anger, shock, bewilderment, and an icy sorrow as deep as dark as an abyss. Yeah, I picked up on that too. Looks like Dirk really won't be the only one who will need my help tomorrow. I think it's about time to pay Queen Garana. Oh my god. I know we have to do that, but I'm so nervous about doing it. Just like that? I just want to say this right now, by the way. Oh, we can examine it? This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Look at all these people. They've got the whole temple surrounded. And it looks like that's just fanning the flames. The police are going to really have their hands full with this many protesters. This whole thing is a powder keg waiting to go off. We should keep our distance from now. I mean, that's not the wrong thing to do right now, especially like right now since we are in a situation where, you know, we have the biggest trial of our life tomorrow. Not getting directly involved in a rebellion that could see us arrested is going to save Dirk more than anything, you know? For sure. Mr. Wright stayed there the entire time he was here, apparently. Why would he stay at the temple instead of a hotel? Cheaper. He says it helped to cut costs. Long stays or a hotel really add up, you know. But he had to sleep on the floor, and there weren't any showers either. That's worse than staying at a youth hostel for backpackers. I think we saw something like this before, this line. Yeah. You get an experience, even though like it's not like the nicest thing in the world, you'd come out of it like with some sort of like crazy, like cool experience, right? You really would, in terms of like you camping at this temple. I guess we're going to the audience chamber? Oh man. May 18th. Grand Palace. Audience chamber. The royal guard isn't around. That is utter hooey. You cannot deceive the people like that. Who's saying this? Rayfa, justice is more... Wait, what? Justice is more than simply speaking the truth. Is that Princess Rayfa... Is Rayfa arguing with the queen? You just... You deceive me too, mother. How can I believe a word you ever say? How can I ever believe a word you say again? Rayfa confronting the queen is huge. That's a huge moment. You oh, Rayfa, nincompoop. Huh? Your benevolence. I couldn't help but overhear. No, legitimately, like Rayfa confronting her mother after what she saw in that picture is one of the biggest steps that she could take. And while it's frustrating, why it's difficult, there's another sense of pride in me where I'm very proud of her as well. I really am. You impudent. Ah. Are you okay, Mr. Wright? I can't believe she actually punched you. I mean, honestly though, like, I feel like, again, she doesn't want to punch Phoenix because she hates Phoenix. She's punching Phoenix because this is one of the most frustrating times of her life. You know what I mean? It really is. Yeah, I'm used to it right now, because usually what stamps on her toes and stuff too. What's the matter with the princess? I think she saw that picture and realized her mother was a liar. It sounded like she was arguing with her mother. Maybe it has something to do with this picture. Rayfa said she had to ask her mother about some secret or another as she saw it. So then, does that mean that Princess Rayfa knows what really happened? I mean, she probably has seen pictures of Amara before. You know, she definitely has seen pictures of her sister, because Amara is actually hailed in this kingdom as someone who is beautiful and lovely and people love her. So it wasn't like she was hidden or swept under the rug. That Amara wasn't assassinated and is still very much alive. Yeah, but I'm thinking, I wonder if she saw that Defiant Dragons picture and was like, yeah, you know. It would seem so. And she doesn't seem to be taking Garan's lies very well. But that's no surprise considering how much Rayfa reveres her mother. It is legitimately, as we've said so many times, someone who is high up on a pedestal. You look up to them your whole life, and then you finally look up at them, and then all of a sudden you see the cracks, you see the glass shatter. There's something about them that is different. They change their whole view, and all of a sudden that pedestal just disintegrates, you know? It's very difficult to deal with that. That would definitely cause her a great deal of anguish and sadness, 100%, 100%. Eavesdropping Ari, however, is the queen. Yeah. You there. Are you not Dirk's son? Nice to meet you, Your Eminence. We're actually here to speak with you if you could spare a moment. Just like that? Yeah, this is such an important scene. We can, as you said, Rayfa's story has been bubbling for this whole time. It's one of the best written stories in Ace Attorney history. It's been so good in terms of an arc. And it's getting, you know, to a breaking point, honestly. Just saying it outright? Your Eminence, Dirk told me about Amara. We're saying it outright. About how she's still alive. I mean, what other ways there to say it, I suppose? You know? We know not of what you speak. After Dirk learned Amara was still alive, he rescued her and they ran off together. But she was captured and remains captive in a secret location to this day. As for Nahyuta doing your bidding, it's only because Amara's life is in your hands. What's so crazy is, as well, is that you're taking the choice of Amara being the queen out of her hands as well, by the way. She deserves... She's the rightful queen, right? At this stage. She would be. What an active imagination you have. She's just, like, literally taking the piss with us. Not literally, you know? And the royal guard laughing as well. That's how much control she has over these people. A lawyer and a comedian? How droll. Oh, that's the guard. Where'd they come from? Anyway, if she's going to play dumb, I'll just have to jog her memory with some evidence. The picture. We're gonna show her the picture. Hey, Queen Garan, what you think of this? Oh, sorry. Queen Garan, what do you think of this? Your Eminence, I asked that you take a look at this photo. Why, it's a photo of Amara. And here you can see a logbook bearing the mark of the Defying Dragons. I believe you know what that means. Whoa. Whoa. Very well, Rollguard. Stand up. Is she just gonna, like, talk about this now? Yes, Your Eminence. Your wish is our command. It seems there is no need to perpetuate this charade any longer. She's just gonna... We shall speak of all we know? Oh my god. Look, oh, we're gonna change to, like, an exclamation point instead. This is amazing. Amara's alive? So then you admit that Amara's still alive? Yes. She's under our protection in a safe location. It's not protection. It can't be protection. That's not how protection works. I think you mean being held prisoner. Because the thing is, like, for protection, you need to be, like, unsafe from outside sources. The only thing she's unsafe from is the people in this palace. And where is she being kept? Now, why would we tell the son of a traitor that? Guess she has a point there. No, she does. She 100% does. Now, heed our warning, Horn Devil. It would not be wise to inform the people that Amara yet lives. It would only serve to plunge public order into chaos. I have no intention of doing that. Besides, there are real terrorists out there who might try to kill her. Jesus Christ. Good. Now that there was something we had been meaning to ask you. Do you know what has become of the Founder's Orb? We don't have it. I wonder who does. I'm joking. I'm joking. I know I got that wrong for 2 episodes. I just completely slipped my mind. Who has the orb? I wonder. You know? Not me. Yeah, so, like, she admitted to Amara being captive. Once again, I believe Amara is only being held captive because if Amara, like, tomorrow was brought out of captivity, she would become the queen, right? And what Apollo said is true, though. If it was revealed that Amara is still alive, I do think that there's a lot of people in this kingdom's best interest to actually end her life for real this time. To keep the regime and status quo, right? For sure. Yeah. The Founder's Orb went missing after Dirk took it into the tomb. As his son, we thought you might know something of its current whereabouts. I knew it. I suppose just to thank you for that free running tour of Karain. That was the royal guard's own doing. Nice try, lady. She's so manipulative, and, like, I thought there was a chance at the start of the game she could have been good, just because we didn't know her very well yet, and I like to give everyone a chance, but, like, she really is just, like, the worst of the worst. But now you're definitely not getting the orb, ever. Why do you want the orb so badly anyway? I think it's probably to prevent someone from gaining that power, right? Because it would be most dangerous in the wrong hands. Yeah, I think she, like, someone like Igna getting the power means he can take control of this kingdom, and she definitely doesn't want that, for sure. Is the legend true? Can the orb really impart spiritual power? Are you worried that someone could overthrow you with it? The Holy Mother's power is without equal. Should her holiness once again return to our world, she can conceivably bestow great power upon the one who unlocked the orb's secret, and you're just afraid of getting your kingdom taken away from you. I guess it makes sense considering spirit channeling is a fact of life here. So we ask you, Horn Devil, Did you receive the Founder's Orb from Dirk? Does it look like I did? So you like to play games, do you? Oh my god. I think we've gotten to the point though. Right? Like, we can't play nice with the queen as much. We have to still, like, be weary of not being executed. But, like, playing nice with the queen isn't a possibility anymore after what happened. You know, after what's been happening and what they've schemed for so long. I literally just said we have to be weary. I think maybe... They arrive so quickly. Search this devil and his belongings. Well, we don't have it. It's with, it's in the hideout, right? At once, your eminence. Don't move. You're only making this harder on yourself. Yikes. Hey, cut it out. What the? This is so immoral, right? 100%. Don't strip there. No, yeah, it's so, wait, it's not Apollo's fault that he's stripping. Just submit to our strip, sir. Oh, that's degrading. That's degrading. That's so horrible. That is so degrading and so horrible. It really is. No, wait, cut it out. That's so horrible. So bad. No, she sucks so bad. That's so degrading. I think it shows... It's not Apollo. Like, no. Like, I want to make this clear. Like, this whole idea... It is an idea of, like, that's what it does. It feels like taking your dignity away. That's not your fault whatsoever. What they did there was horrific. Stripping you down in front of all of your friends, in front of anyone in public. Doing that in general to someone who has, like, again, he did have the orb, but there's no evidence to say he actually has it. There's no evidence beyond he's just related to the person that had it before. Queen Garan, I already hated you, but now I have a burning, passionate... Well, I didn't hate... You know what I mean? It's one of those things where, like, I kind of knew she was evil. But now the burning passion to hatred is coming. Like, that's just so degrading, so horrible. There's no sign of the Founder's Orb, your eminence. You should apologize now, maybe. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? Apologies? Oh, what's wrong? So you've hidden it somewhere. Yeah, of course, we have. And the thing is, she's right. She's totally correct if we hid it somewhere, but, like, what she just did there was so degrading and so bad. She sucks. No matter. We shall recover it one way or another once you're found guilty of abetting the accused. And again... This is their whole thing. It's like degrading us right in front of everybody, strip searching us. But now that she was wrong about who had the orb in this moment, it's like, no matter, I'll still win. In her mind, it's like, I'll always still win. I know people are probably gonna say, Calvin, you shocked that someone would do this who had their own sister kidnapped and all this stuff too? Would you be shocked at someone who laughed when her husband died? Yeah, you're right. You're correct. It's not a shocking thing. It's just still pretty horrible to see what she did to Apollo here. Dirk was right. She really is bent on getting the orb, yeah? Mother! Is it Rayfa again? You okay? Look, looks like the princess is back. I took a stroll to try and calm myself, but... I still find the situation unacceptable, as you should. And this is a part of growing up as well. It's such a big part of growing up, questioning your surroundings. The people must be informed about the... Rayfa! So she does know about that. Honestly, like, Rayfa making a big decision here or having a big idea here. Rayfa, you do not yet possess a clear grasp of how the government and its people interact. This isn't a government anymore. I mean, governments are already corrupt, but this is just beyond corrupt. There will always be a secret that must be kept from the ignorant masses. This is factually true that there are secrets, right? But the fact that the true ruler, the true queen is dead is something that everyone should know, right? Even if, again, I know it's going to cause an upheaval, right? 110%, but like, and it could be dangerous for Amara. But the fact is that eventually at some point, sooner rather than later, the people deserve to know that Amara is still alive. She is the rightful queen of this place. Not that I like monarchies, like F monarchies in general, but like, you know. You have little faith in... Rayfa, oh my god. You have little faith in our people, mother. Rayfa siding with the people here is what... Well, we knew she was, but the way she says this too shows that she's kind of like... this one line to me has a encapsulation of this entire story, right? That Crane treats his people like idiots and treats them like they're nothing. But it's the royal priestess' duty to always speak the... Rayfa! To always speak the truth. I adore this. I adore this, Rayfa. I adore this. And such, I cannot remain silent. I will not. I am so proud of her. I am so proud of this gal. Holy hell, I'm so proud of this gal. The truth you say? Your mind has been poisoned by the barbed one. You know what's happened? She is realizing the truth. She's fought it for so long, but she's realizing the truth. And this, I think, is the actual age when people start questioning the reality. You know, when you become a teenager, you question everything. It's one of those situations where like you start to develop in the way like your mind and stuff. And in this case, it's one of those situations where like she has seen the truth now, and she's siding with the people. And it's like she's taking the good part of the Kearney's teachings of serving the people and the care for the people, and she's actually like putting into practice now that she realizes the truth. It was an honor and a pleasure, Your Eminence. We must speak with our child. I don't like, no. I know we can't do anything. We literally cannot do a thing about this. I understand this. I understand that we can't just like start swinging at all the guards around. I understand this. I understand. But I do not like Rayfa in this emotional state being with the Queen. I hate it. Oh, it is a mother's duty to discipline her child after all. Now if you excuse us. No. I hate this. I hate this. Discipline coming from her, I don't like the sound of that at all. Yeah, because discipline in Korean is horrific. I don't know, this is horrible. Imagine that Rayfa finally hears the truth and now she has to hear that she's going to be disciplined. I honestly though, like I would probably break the rules and I would just like say, Athena, pick her up, let's go, let's run, you know? I probably would at this stage because I don't like Rayfa being... Well, Apollo, let's head back to the safe house for now. I would genuinely actually like to save her somehow, because what is about to happen is going to be nice. I'm not saying it's going to be physical, but I'm saying whatever like verbal mental gymnastics is about to happen. The next time we see Rayfa, which presumably will be the trial, is going to be a very interesting one. How is she reacting when she gets her to? Because again, people underestimate sometimes, and especially parents underestimate this, how much power they have over their children, you know? And that's why you need to utilize that in a very, very good way. That's why bad parents are the ones that know they can be manipulative and know they can be have power over their children, and they utilize it in the wrong way, you know? I'm so worried about Rayfa. I really am. I'm so worried about her. She had such a huge moment here, and can I just say, I think in terms of arcs in this game, like, it's kind of crazy that, like, two of the best arcs so far, in my opinion, I would say the best arc in the game is Rayfa's. Seeing her journey from where we started with her to now, this child has been trying, like, who's been so poisoned, and you can see her slowly kind of understanding the world a little bit better. She finds people that actually care about her, even if it's only a little bit, like Phoenix and Edgeworth and Maya. And the way I say they care, by the way, is Maya shouting at Rayfa that time and telling her that she was wrong is care. I know it doesn't seem like that, but I know it sounds like because that's what some people say, well, I'm shouting at you because I care. But in this case, it was care. Because sometimes people who do have like a very limited worldview, and I'm not saying shouting, by the way, I'm just saying like arguing with them. Because like, or pushing back, I should say. Because Rayfa had never had someone ever talk to her the way Maya did, and that's care. It is care, because sometimes, like for example, I can give an example of when it happened to me before when I was a teenager. Like, I remember, like I had an argument with someone at a party, and over the whole course of the party, I wouldn't let it go. I would not let it go. I kept like thinking about it. I think I was like around Rayfa's age actually, and one of my closest friends came up to me and said, "Shut the F up, all right? Leave it. Just leave it. It's going to put a damper on everything, okay?" And because the person who would argue me had already left. So it was one of the situations where like he was right. And I'm not saying I had a limited worldview or I was like Rayfa where I thought that like, you know, heard the same thing she thought. But sometimes you need those moments in your life to kind of develop in a way. And I'm not saying like someone being rude to you. I'm saying sometimes people need to like pull you out of a situation and be like, your perspective is skewed here. Yes, you were right to do this. Yes, you were wrong to do this. But right now, you need to like let this go, you know? And I think it's those moments that are so important in life. And it's not just like people shout. Sometimes it is someone like, you know, sitting you down and being like, this is the actual truth of the situation, right? Sometimes it can be a gentle touch. Sometimes it can be a thing where you're like in your workplace and someone goes, look, this person doesn't actually have your best interest in mind. All this stuff. It's like, I think it's really interesting how like Rayfa went her whole life without someone actually being honest with her. And the Maya being honest with her at the time was very good. It was very good, Maya. You get what I'm saying? It's sometimes you need people to be honest with you. Sometimes you need people, and there's a way to do it without being brutal. And I think that what her time with Phoenix and Maya and Edgeworth and all these characters, especially Phoenix, made her character develop so much. And now she's at a state where she's pushing back on her mother. And I just don't want to see her ever like regress from that, how far she's come, you know? You know what I mean? Not at all. So I guess we're going back to the hideout here. Yeah, I think her arc has been fantastic. And I think her arc is also representative of the beliefs of Crane as well, you know? As Crane has been changing a little bit, she's also been changing a little bit too. So well written in my view. May 18th. Former Samari Law Office is... Oh, you're back. Thank you for holding down the fort, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Sorry it took so long. Hope you aren't too bored. I watched the Plume Punisher, Warrior of Neo Twilight Realm, while you were gone. And my verdict is... It's an outrage, especially its theme song. Don't say that here. Even worse, the people believe it's an original Kearney show. Can you believe? Oh my god! Wait, he's talking about the show. I'm not sure what he's blogging about, but at least it seems he wasn't bored. I've already spoken at length with the Mr. He was talking the ear off That's a Rebel about the show. That's very cute. That's very, very cute. Moving along to the things that actually matter. This matters. We've gathered a lot of information and evidence that we can concerning this case. I think it's time to go over everything we've learned so far, sure? Okay, let's do it. Yeah, this is is it... I don't know how to say this, but when he said this, I had a burning feeling in my chest all of a sudden, right? It feels like we're closing in on the trial more and more. And this is going to be one of the biggest trials ever in Ace Attorney. I think so anyway. The Orb's trial, Maya's abduction, and the murder of the mastermind behind it, all Justice Mr. Igna. It's a lot to consider. Think you have all the facts straight in your head? Yep, I've got it covered, Mr. Wright. It's the truth about what really went down that's going to be the problem. Yeah, it's like the more we learn about this case, the less we understand. I agree. There's a deep darkness enveloping this case. So agreed. So agreed. I'm almost afraid of what we will find once we lift that black veil. This is so true, because I was talking about the emotions of it, because I think that's the biggest part of this whole trial for me, is how emotionally connected to everyone is to the trial. But I will also say as well, I think one of the biggest parts of this trial as well is the fact that there's so many hidden secrets in Crane. And it's like, you know, opening Pandora's box. Once you open it, you can't really close it. You know, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Suffice to say, the real killer is certainly waiting underneath. The real killer, huh? That's $1 million question. Yeah, like it feels like we're not even close to like knowing who exactly it was. Who killed Igna and why? I mean, here's the thing. Can I say like Igna's death is probably the most motivated killing of all time. Like you could tell me that like someone random in the street killed him, and I'd be like, oh yeah, you know, sure, that makes sense. Think Apollo. Who would say had a motive to commit this crime? Every person in Karain, if they knew who he was, but not everyone knew who he was, I guess. I, for one, am drawing a complete blank. I want to know how the killer slipped into the tomb, killed Igna, and slipped back out. That's the big thing, right? Without ever being seen. That's a bona fide locked room mystery right there. Well, we've collected plenty of evidence and statements. I just hope the rest comes out in court. It'll be a thinner tightrope than usual, that's for sure. There we go, about Igna's murder. So we're basically talking about how we have to prove who the actual killer is. It's going to be like a thin tightrope. We don't know exactly who the killer could be. We have to find a motive, and we have to put all the evidence together as well. Amara's assassination. This case is one big fly in the ointment. In order to prove Dirk completely innocent, we'll also have to exonerate him of the crime committed 23 years ago. 2 at one time. Amara's supposed assassination. Right. We know Amara's still alive. But Dirk could still be charged with plotting to kill her. Yeah, because he's on trial for that too. He could discover the truth even after 2 decades of investigating. He couldn't discover the truth. So our biggest hurdle is going to be the complete lack of evidence. The biggest thing we could do, right, is find out where she is, right? If we found out where she is, then it's like, it's one of those things where like it becomes a lot easier. But we don't know where she is. That fire made sure of that. Mr. Wright, have you ever won a case without any evidence? That's a crazy question, isn't it? No. That's one thing I've never done before. I mean, it's pretty much impossible, right? Like, what's so crazy is, like, I watch the show called Law in the City, and it's based on a different law system, but it's based on the Korean law system. And it's like, obviously, like, you know, every law system is different. But a lot of times, like, court cases, like, for example, that are, like, civil cases. I don't want to say, like, cases that are, like, murder and all this stuff, too. It's very different. But you'll see them, like, they'll be in and out. Like, a lot of the judges will do, like, 40 of those cases a day. And in a lot of cases, like, evidence can literally just be, like, a small piece of evidence. Because even here, what Phoenix is saying, like, you have to have even, like, the smallest shred of evidence, or else things would just, like, not go your way whatsoever. But yeah, like, it would be impossible, right? It's just impossible. A trial unprecedented even in the decorated annals of the Wright anything agency. Yeah, a trial without full, solid evidence, which is crazy. Still, I can't help but wonder, was there really no evidence left behind? Well, we can't forget about the Defense Culpability Act. This is about Amara's assassination, by the way. They left no evidence behind of the fire, right? Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. In short, if Dirk is found guilty and is sentenced to death, we'll likely join him in a very public execution. That's crazy that it's also going to be Phoenix as well then. It's not just Apollo. Would that mean it'd be Athena as well? Yeah. Beat the charges or die. What kind of crazy upside down legal system is this anyway? It is 100% not about the legal system. It's 100% about control and power. It is a way that they found of executing people who are against their system and against their laws without having to pretend that it was like super like a severe crime they committed. Because it's already laid out in front of everybody. If you're a lawyer who defends criminals, you are a criminal. So no matter what, they don't have to pretend, they don't have to lie, they don't have to make something up about someone who's trying to fight against their system. They can, because that's what people do throughout history in terrible regimes. They would somehow make up a reason why they had to kill someone. And sometimes they do it publicly to make an example out of people as well. I'm not gonna say who, but there was like a, well, I don't know. I don't know if I get marked for this, but like Stalin, right, created a whole system where he didn't create it. One of his followers created a system where they would publicly like execute people, and basically what would happen after that is the person who made that whole system was the one who's executing like the third version of that whole execution. You make up ways to try and execute people who are against your system. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying that's what they do. And in this case, they found a surefire, foolproof way of getting rid of anyone who would dissent against them, and the people just follow it like nothing because it's already ingrained in their mind that these people are evil from the second they put on that badge. So it's like one of the most foolproof systems they've ever created. It's horrible, but what they've done is literally just to keep control, in my opinion. Don't worry, I can't ask someone as young as you to risk your life, Athena. So tomorrow? Whoa! Oh, Apollo and Phoenix together on the stand? But you can support us by watching for the gallery. That is huge. For the last game in the saga, for it to be Apollo and Phoenix, the two protagonists. Well, I think Athena's a protagonist as well. Would you guys agree? I think she's also a protagonist of this story. But to have the two of them together, I think the two main protagonists are Phoenix Wright and Ace Attorney, and Apollo Justice, right? They are like the ones on the branding. What? No. I want to help. I'm part of the agency too, after all. You are 110% Athena. But I know it sounds really sad, and I'm almost sad saying it. We need someone to carry on the agency. You know what I mean? We need someone. Sorry, but this is a direct order from your boss. Plus, there's Prosecutor Blackwell to think of. He said he used me as a sword practice if I put you in harm's way. Oh, look at the soft face of Phoenix. He's actually... This is quite accurate. Simon. See, that's how you know the whole trial. I love how retroactively that makes it true that Simon did care about her in that trial. He was just trying to push her towards the right answer, right? Well, at least promise me this. You two promise me you'll make it back alive. Oh, Athena. We gotta. Make it back alive, huh? What's with the face, Apollo? You'll never inspire confidence in your client like that. It's just terrifying, man. It's terrifying that, like, you know, you're going into a trial, which is basically your job, and you could die. And it'll play right into the prosecution's hands. Remember, the worst of times when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna absolutely die. You're right. The famous line, even when it's hopeless or when there's not a shred of evidence to be found. That famous line always, like, gets me. We can never let it show on our faces, right? It's so important that, like, a lot of, like, the life of Apollo and Mia and Phoenix have always been, and Athena and all these characters have always been about sacrificing their own emotions sometimes for their clients. You know what I mean? Like, they're some of the most selfless lawyers I've ever met in my life. Whoa. Okay. I thought I was going to say to be continued. Will I actually, because my heart's racing. I don't want it to say to be continued because this trial is actually terrifying. Will I actually be able to do that tomorrow? When push comes to shove, will I be able to force my biggest smile? Oh no. Okay. Oh. Oh, it's time. It's time. Oh, it's time. Do you guys do this too? It's a habit of mine where I always go to the next save file. It's always a habit of mine. The reason I didn't want... I can't wait for this trial. It's going to be incredible. But the reason I didn't want it to end is because I've never been more nervous for a trial in my life. I've never... And that's crazy because we've been through some crazy stuff. The trial in the last game. In Dual Destinies. I'm nearly crying because I know what's on the other side of this is something that's terrifying. And the fact that this game can make me feel this way is absolutely incredible. It's really, really incredible. May 19th, 8:50 a.m. High Court of Khura'in. Here we go. Oh, man. Guys, my heart is racing so fast. What? They even came into the courtroom. I didn't expect this. I know they're coming in as well, but they're not going down there to fight. Look at this. Oh, the tattered poster. They are like, they're not giving up. Again, there's a pride in that. I'm so proud of them. But I didn't expect them to jump in like that. May 19, 9:28, High Court of Khura'in. Accused lobby. Accused. I love the way they say instead of defend lobby, it's accused lobby, right? I always think that's like a really nice touch in a way of like making it very, you know, you're up against like a rock and a hard place here almost. You know, you're accused. You're not a defendant. You're accused. It's complete chaos outside. Let's just say the Defiant Dragon supporters demonstrating for Dirk's freedom. I've taken a very special interest in the outcome of today's trial. How good does it feel on the final trial to have people in Khura'in on our side? There's people who care about our win and want us to win. They look about ready to string us up if we lose. That's scary too. Trials here are pretty much like the ones back home, with one major difference: the divination seance, and also like a judge that we had to teach how to do law for a bit. Like there's also that. The victim's final memories would become a matter for deliberation. I've heard about that. Oh, Apollo hasn't seen this yet. Interesting, yeah. But they haven't stopped you from winning your cases here in Khura'in. True, but it wasn't easy. Still, the memories of the dead are simply another piece of evidence. There's always a way to deal with them, if your client is truly innocent. Well, I know Dirk is innocent, but... I have one more big secret. Oh yeah, the big secret. Yeah, that's going to be playing on our mind as well, isn't it? In court tomorrow, you may find yourself faced with a truth that is difficult to accept. But I know you, and I know you can handle the truth no matter what it turns out to be. I know that because I believe in you. You're my son after all. Actually very beautiful though, isn't it? Actually very, very beautiful. Dirk, what is the secret you're keeping? Again, it's one of those things where, like, again, I said it's beautiful, but it's terrifying for Apollo, right? It is. Hey, AJ. AJ? Oh, it's Dats, of course. I love Dats, like, literally fighting people. Oh, thank you so much. Dats was literally elbowing police officer in the face, and just like him, he's just randomly walking around the place. I love that about him. I genuinely think I could see him on the news crashing a car into, like, the White House, and then legitimately, like, the next day, like, you'd see him getting fruit juice, like, get a fruit smoothie downtown. Hey, Dats, what happened yesterday? Oh, crazy, buddy. He's that type of character. He has a new crime every day, but, like, I'm not saying it's a bad crime, by the way, you know, elbowing these corrupt police officers in the face. He should be doing it, but you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I feel like he's just that type of character. He just shows up randomly and just like after doing like a big crime, and there's not a scratch on him. I respect him a lot, though. The founder's form has appeared from within. It seems only the queen knows the founder's real name. Thanks, Nats. Wait, weren't you arrested by the police yesterday? Yep, I spent the night in the slammer. So he did get arrested, but he only went there for a night. Okay, that's fine. I had to find me. That's what I'm talking about. He loves it. What more can I ask for? He loves being in prison, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he got out after a day, after elbowing a police officer. Like, in America, you're done. You know? You'll never see the light of day again. That actually sounds way better than where we're staying. And look, if your hobby is elbowing a police officer, that's none of my business, alright? Everyone needs hobbies, you know? Everyone needs hobbies and stuff to live for. Just remember, AJ, if Dirk's found guilty today, we'll all probably be found guilty on the defense. Yeah, true. Oh my God, I never even thought of that. Do you think? Because I didn't think they could like stretch it that far. But if they stretch it towards, you know, Phoenix, then they probably if Dirk is found guilty today, that means that they can definitely find every single person who defended him, like all the people in the crowd, guilty too for technically defending a criminal. If you think about it, really, like, this actually does make a lot of sense. Not that I'm saying it's a good thing or it makes sense. I'm saying under their regime, this is something they would definitely do. 110%. Because once Dirk loses, if he loses, right? But in their minds, once Dirk loses, that means they've won. They've sent a message. The message is clear. Dirk is wrong. We are right. Get rid of all the other people that disagree with us. And they have solidified control once again of Crane. So much is riding on this. The fate of an entire country is riding on this one trial. Yeah, now you just said something to that effect. That which Garan wants to take advantage of today to crush our revolution once and for all. The fate of revolution, every Kurnese person rests. Yes, 110%. The whole country rests on this trial. We're counting on you, AJ. We'll be fine. Oh, we'll be fine. I'm gonna win this one. You'll see. The trial begins shortly, Apollo. Let's make our way to the courtroom. Right. Guys, I cannot believe how nervous I am. I cannot believe how many deep breaths I'm taking. I'm actually going to end the episode here. I know, like, it's going to be a big cliffhanger, but I think ending the episode here is probably the best idea we can do, because that means, like, we can go into the next trial kind of, like, a bit refreshed, I guess. Jesus Christ, man, the feeling I'm having right now. Has there ever been a trial that's had so much writing on it in one trial? It's crazy. There never has. Never. Yeah, I think that, first of all, I think it's amazing that any game can make me feel this way. Like, I love that I come into this Ace Attorney franchise and feel nervous and feel scared and feel worried and feel passionately angry. I feel like all these feelings that come into the Ace Attorney franchise are really beautiful to me. What's so fantastic about this episode in particular for me is I really do adore the way that they've really kind of, like, I don't think it's culminated yet fully, but the way they've kind of led into this, like, rebellion finally getting to a boiling point where it's too much and they had to do something, and these people had to do something, because it shows that, like, whilst Karain, we started our story in Karain with everyone against us, we now realize that when everyone was against us back then, there were some people who disagreed. there were some people who wanted to fight back but couldn't. And that happens in every single type of revolution ever. There's people who want to join but they're worried and scared. And it led to this point where now they see it as more of a plausible thing and they have to fight back. And I think it's such a great thing that they showed here. There was such a sense of pride in me when I saw everyone coming up to this, the temple and going into the courtroom. Because you can say like, oh, Calvin, it's violent or something, I guess too. But I said this last time. But like 99% of all revolutions and rebellions are won through some sort of violence. And I know it's a horrible thing to say for some people that don't want to hear that. But it's just a fact. It's just a real fact. You look at any revolution throughout history, look at all the successful ones, you know, and honestly, successful ones also had violence in them too. But like the successful ones have violence in them. I always go back to the Irish Rebellion, how that we would not be free right now if it wasn't for the flying columns and guerrilla warfare and all this stuff. We just wouldn't be, just factually so. So you can't fault these people for going in and elbowing people and hitting them and destroying places. And you know why you can't fault them? Because people that they love are dying. People they love are being sent to be killed. There's places in this kingdom where children are sent to prison or killed or executed without a second thought. And I'll always bring it back to Albie. Right? We don't have to look up Albie, but I'll always bring it back to Albie. Because he's a character who, if it wasn't for Phoenix being here, there's a good chance he would rot in prison for the rest of his life. And you might say, they would have killed him. I have no doubt they would have killed him if it was a more severe crime. The reason why he was going to die is because I think Max Payne. Because Prosecutor Payne, if you remember, made this, I think if I remember this correctly, right? It was months ago. We started in October, I think. But, he made the crime more severe because he didn't like Phoenix, so he made the crime more severe. So you can't blame these people for wanting to take back their country for themselves and wanting to be safe, wanting to actually live. Their family members are in prison for crimes they never committed. Like, this is the boiling point that led to this point right here. Because it is years of lies and years of propaganda and all this stuff that has led to this. So I do not, in fact, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them for coming in and tearing apart this place. I'm proud of them for coming in and protesting at the temple like that. 110%. And here's my thing. Like, I don't think they would have I don't think they would have hit anyone if it wasn't for the police taking out their batons either. But yeah, also in this episode, we had the stuff with Nahyuta and Apollo. Another really built storyline. I love the idea of Apollo and Nahyuta being two sides of a coin that understand their emotions of each other very well and their feelings towards their father, but one of them can't express it fully because there's clearly that thing that's still hanging over his head in some way, which is his mother, whether he wants to believe that or not. And I think now Nahyuta's trying to convince himself that he isn't captive, that he isn't a captor, that his mother isn't a captor. And I think there's a parallel there to him saying, like, my mother is safe. She's being kept safe. To him also believing he's not a captor in this regime as well, or a captive, I should say, in this regime. I am safe. My mother is safe. Because if his mother is safe and his mother is in good place, that means he's also in a good place, and that means there's nothing to worry about. His emotions can subside. And I think it's such a very dark thing to think about, but that's the way he probably thinks about it. You know, it's like if I believe my mother is safe, that means I am also safe. And that's just the way he thinks about it, right? You can see there he was struggling when Apollo was saying this stuff to him because he knows for a fact that his father means the world to him, Nahyuta, but he can't truly express that because he's worried about what will happen to him. Not worried about what will happen to him. I think he's worried about his world crashing down around him. And there is obviously something still, as we said, his mother still hanging over his head in that way as well. But yeah, I can't wait to see where Nahyuta's going with this because Apollo said he wants to show Nahyuta's smile again to Dirk, which I think is a really beautiful thing too. He even expressed talking about Dirk's illness, and that obviously shook Nahyuta as well. But yeah, there's again, we talk about boiling points and culmination. I want to see Nahyuta smile as well, and they're really doing a good job of making Nahyuta a character where you go from being please say something, Nahyuta, to we need to save this guy. Emotionally, we need to save this guy. Rayfa also came up and stood up to the queen. Huge moment. I said it in this episode, but the moment where like you have a better understanding of the world around you and you push back on things, it's tough, but like it's going to be better in the long run. Rayfa throughout this whole game has been trying her best to keep the beliefs that she's been told her whole entire life. She has, over time, had the glass cracked. Over time. Just cracks in the glass. Over time. And that was Phoenix pushing back on her. That was Maya pushing back on her. That was her seeing the regime not as she thought it was. That's her seeing your seances fail. All these different cracks. And I feel like one of the things, the biggest crack that came in that glass that I feel like will shatter any second and fully break and fall to the floor is seeing that picture of Queen Amara. Because she was able to go up to her mother and say, you lied to me. And you see now that what Rayfa's doing, which I think is really fantastic, she's been taught that she serves the people. She's been taught that she has to care for the people. And she has. We've seen her care for the people in her own way. It's just that she also, like in the opposite way, like doesn't know how to care for them properly because she's been taught the wrong way to care for them. She does. We've seen in the past her care for people. But the issue is now is that, not the issue, sorry, one of the coolest things now is that she has taken her care for the people and changed it to being something that is even more caring in her eyes as well. And I agree, which is that people deserve to know the truth about who the true queen is. And that's tough for Rayfa. That's a big step for Rayfa, because what does that say? My mother's a liar. My dad was a liar. They were on a pedestal my whole life. Everything I know is a lie. That's what that says. To, at her age, to come to terms with that, difficult as heck. But I'm so proud of her in that moment. I'm just very worried about what's going to happen with her now, because we're going to see her in this trial. But I'm worried about what her mental state is after the situation with the whole discipline stuff. And the queen obviously, like, you know, was enacting her power. She was degrading us. She was doing all this stuff too. But she, like, 100% is not going to let up. She wants dominance. And that's what this whole thing is about. It's about dominance. The Culpability Act is about dominance. The getting rid of all of her enemies is dominance. She wants, by the end of this trial, to have Rayfa subdued, to have Phoenix and Apollo killed, to have all of the rebels killed. And what will be left of this? What's going to be left? A broken Nahyuta who won't go against her. Rayfa who realizes all of this is lost and everything is destroyed and there's no point in even trying because look what happened here. Athena who's going to be sent home, not sent home, but she's going to go home. You know what I mean? Edgeworth is going to make sure that will make sure Athena gets home. Like, what's going to be left is a burnt, scorched earth where the queen believes that she is 100% correct. And again, it's one situation she's not correct, but who's going to tell her she's not once everything is gone?
Will you be joining us? Then it's settled.
Man, this trial is going to be crazy. It's one of those situations where I'm coming into this with a nervousness like I never felt before in a trial. And that's saying a lot for this game. All the emotions, all this writing on it is a huge deal. Like, we have a people's lives on the line in terms of our lives, a country's whole law system on the line, emotions on the line, families on the line, people's future on the line, like people like Rayfa and Nahyuta. All this stuff is on the line in this trial. And a loss for Dirk means a mass deaths, a rebellion crushed. People will be punished going forward even more than they were before. Nobody to stand up for the people ever again. This is literally one of the most high stakes trials. And we talk about the emotions of it. Everybody's invested. Everybody has an investment in this trial. From all the way, Trucy all the way back in America to Edgeworth, whose best friend is about to go up for trial as well. Everybody has an investment in this trial, guys. Guys, if you want to see these episodes early, you can see them on Patreon or YouTube members for €1 or $1.50 or $60, I think it is. And you can do it also in the membership tab, which just press join and you can see the posts on the community posts of all the members' posts. If you want to get your name on the screen, as you see right now, it's €10 or $12. If you want to get your name read out, which I'm about to do now, it's €15 or $17, I think. I think it is. Everything's in euro for me usually, but I should check that and actually like confirm it. But guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll say thank you to Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Jana the Banana, the Ghost Vinizuma, Delicious Felix, Ewald, Anusta, Yisassin, True Peanut Butter, Peter Shelson, Leon, High Kasperian, Jared Beanham, Neo Sharite, and at the highest tier of my YouTube, Royal Gamer 7, Velasco, and Lucinagi. Thank you guys, and I'll see you very soon.